Good evening, godless sodomites.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
I'm very honored to be able to receive this amazing award from the depths of my soul.
I'm bringing the truth, John. We're in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
On behalf of Amy, I'd like to thank the devil.
I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus.
Kneel before your God, Babylon!
Suck it, Jesus! This award is my God now!
That was Satanism. It's working really well. We made a pact. The movie came out so well.
That's when I really saw how dark and so it was dark. I get creeped out. I get scared to death.
And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be.
It was soulless.
Yeah.
Never seen anything. And I still, every time I get out there, I feel like, oh man, I don't feel life out there.
Yeah.
I don't feel it at all.
And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track.
There is a reason why you see people dressed up as Satan, full-on visuals of Satan, people dressed as Satan, dressed as a demon, got upside-down crosses all on their clothes or pentagrams on their clothes. People think that this stuff is just a game. No, there's a reason why the entertainment industry is doing that, y'all.
Why do we increasingly hear acknowledgments to Satan during award ceremonies? What compelled John Cena to appear naked at the Oscars, sparking widespread speculation across the internet about this being part of an Illuminati humiliation ritual? How has Cat Williams' commentary on such matters proven eerily accurate? And why are demonic symbols becoming more prevalent across music videos and movies? This surge in overt gestures, symbols, lyrics, subliminal messages, and secret codes weaving through our entertainment isn't coincidental. It represents a deliberate move to normalize, even glorify, elements that once lurked in the shadows of our collective consciousness. These symbols, often brushed aside as mere artistic expression or the eccentricities of fame, carry deeper meanings that resonate with ancient rituals and esoteric beliefs. The question arises, why? Why this push towards integrating such imagery and themes into mainstream media? Is it a reflection of a shift in societal values? Or perhaps an influence wielded by hidden forces with agendas that extend beyond mere entertainment? The presence of these symbols and rituals, increasingly embedded within the fabric of popular culture, invites a closer examination of the messages being propagated to millions, often subconsciously. The acknowledgement of darker forces, the peculiar rituals played out in public view, and the infiltration of esoteric symbolism in entertainment might well be a mirror reflecting a broader cultural and spiritual battle. This phenomenon beckons us to question the intentions behind these displays and the impact they have on the audience's psyche and society's moral compass. As we stand witness to this growing trend, it becomes crucial to discern the nature of the entertainment we consume and to understand the implications of the messages being delivered. The infiltration of such imagery into popular media is not just a matter of artistic freedom, but speaks to a larger narrative at play, challenging us to look beyond the surface and question the true purpose behind the spectacle. Let's begin. Our culture is seriously hooked on celebrities. When Oscar season comes around every year, we've got a whopping 30 to 40 million people glued to their screens, eager to see which movies snag the top honors for their storytelling, craftsmanship, and artistic flair. Everyone calls it the Oscars, and yeah, there's a bit of an obsession with it. Landing one of those golden guys is pretty much your ticket to stardom. What's interesting about this is in the Egyptian culture, they had this small statue that was all about the god Ptah. And when an Egyptian king passed away, They believed his spirit would shoot up to the Orion constellation, turning him into a star. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? We're still into these symbols of excellence, just like they were. And Hollywood? Well, it's got its fair share of glitz with all these award shows popping up. The Grammys, the Emmys, you name it. They're all about celebrating different slices of the entertainment world. But deep down, they're pretty much the same deal. Just listen to how Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert talk about these awards. It's all part of the fascination we have with recognizing greatness.
Good evening, godless sodomites.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing the truth, John. We're in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
You can't just read the prompter?
I'm reading the prompter in here. It warps the minds of our children and weakens the resolve of our allies.
We're here to honor achievement in that category.
By giving you a golden idol to worship. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
You see, Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart, they're totally clued into their place in this modern-day Babylon we call Hollywood. And here's something you might find interesting. Jim Carrey's on the same page. At a completely different award show, he was echoing the same kind of vibes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here tonight, as all of us are, to pay tribute to an American icon, an actor, a filmmaker, and truly one of my personal heroes, Mr. Clint Eastwood. I'm also here because the AFI is paying me $20 million and $3, making me the highest paid megalomaniacal boy king in all of Babylon!
When Kathy Griffin accepted her Emmy Award, she made it crystal clear who her god is now.
A lot of people come up here and they thank Jesus for this award. I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus. He didn't help me a bit. If it was up to him, Caesar Milan would be up here with that damn dog. So all I can say is, suck it, Jesus, this award is my God now!
It's fascinating when you dive into the origins of the word Oscar. Its roots are in Scandinavian and Old English, where it translates to divine strength or divine spear. Divine suggests something of, from, or resembling a god, while a spear is recognized as a weapon. Could it be that Satan is employing these celebrities and movies as godlike weapons against us? Until 1999, the Oscars took place in a venue known as the Shrine, established by William Florence and Walter Fleming, both prominent Scottish Rite Freemasons. Hollywood's fascination with Freemasonry isn't a secret. Icons like Gene Autry, John Wayne, Duke Ellington, C.C. DeMille, Nat King Cole, Clark Gable, Walt Disney, and Oliver Hardy, among others, have all been linked to it. The involvement of many celebrities with Freemasonry has been openly acknowledged. In Morals and Dogma, a seminal work by Albert Pike, there's a passage on page 321 where Freemasons declare who their god is, describing Lucifer, the light bearer, in paradoxical terms as a bearer of light, despite being a figure of darkness, a concept that challenges conventional perceptions and suggests a deeper symbolic significance to their beliefs. When Life is Beautiful received its Oscar, a wide shot of the stage inadvertently revealed Masonic symbols incorporated into its design. Elements such as the checkered floor, archways, and a sun motif all resonate with Freemasonry symbolism, mirroring what's found on a Masonic tracing board, a tool used within the fraternity for educational purposes. These symbols subtly communicate who is behind the organization. Following the Oscars move in 1999 to the Kodak Theater, these Masonic elements continue to be a part of the stage's design, with sun motifs in the ceiling, checkered patterns on the stage, and arches being prominently featured. The exterior of the Kodak Theater includes references to the Ishtar Gate and Babylonian deities, drawing inspiration from the 1916 film Intolerance, which recreated Babylon's set, including its iconic elements like the elephants, the Ishtar Gate, and Babylonian gods. This area around the Kodak Theater, labeled the Babylonian Court, along with the design elements that include an unmistakable representation of the Tower of Babel on the stage during the 2016 Oscars, underscores a deep-seated recognition of their origins and affiliations. Through these symbols and references, it becomes clear that those within this organization are well aware of their standing and the influences at play. Hear what Mel Gibson has to say about Hollywood. His unique focus on Jesus through films about Christ's life might just be his way of shedding light on the truth he perceives within the industry. It seems as though signs are everywhere, pointing to deeper truths and narratives interwoven into Hollywood's very fabric. By pausing to look and listen carefully, we start to see these messages for what they are, peeling back the layers to reveal the core of what's often concealed. Staying vigilant and discerning enables us to decode these signs and understand the reality beneath the surface.
When I came over here, I was in my mid-20s.
Right.
The first time I really came over here. You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me. And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be. Because a whole place can't be like, you know, Weird Town, you know, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go into the house on the hill. And it's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track with a lot of this stuff. Not specifically on track, but that you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real at the time, and you think,
Even Jim Brewer has something to say on the matter. And folks, it's crucial to acknowledge that numerous individuals echo similar sentiments across the web. Yet, it's imperative not to be sidetracked by the fleeting distractions of TikTok or the latest TV narratives, for these are the mechanisms that maintain our diversion. When we do stumble upon revelations like these, our knee-jerk reaction is often disbelief. It must be fake. Nobody discusses this. This skepticism is indicative of how deeply we've been lulled into complacency, programmed by their movies, their music, and the broader entertainment culture. Pay attention to Jim Brewer's insights.
Then the real Hollywood came. And I'll tell you what, I'll let you in on a little something, but I'm not going to drop names.
okay.
But I'll never forget, these are black producers, a guy named Kevin Brown and Andre Brown. And he was later on 30 Rock, but they would come to us and they would tell us about vanity and losing your mind in Hollywood and be careful. And they came back from Hollywood to try and expand us. And they sat us down and they're like, you ain't gonna believe what we saw. I'm like, what'd you see? And they said, we saw so-and-so, huge name, so-and-so, huge name. What? See, now you're telling stories. Yeah. But I never forgot that. 3 years later, this name, ping!
So, really, does television have an impact on us? It goes beyond being just entertainment. We often hear people claiming, yeah, but it's just entertainment. It doesn't affect me. I know what's good for me, and I can discern the bad. Take Kevin Smith, for instance, a writer and director known for his contributions to pop culture through movies. He's behind films like Clerks and Dogma, which starred Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. In a moment I'll share with you, he's speaking at a conference about his approach to filmmaking, specifically how he embeds subtle messages within his work.
You put it out there and hopefully they get it. I always like to think of it as like I've got them sitting there, whip a little message at them, whip a little moral at them, whip a little of what my view of the world is, because that's what every good filmmaker does. And we'll lead the world into the 21st century, and I'll make a profit on their backs.
Here, Kevin Smith openly acknowledges his intention to incorporate moral messages to whip a little things at them. This candid admission highlights the underlying influence that creators wield through entertainment, shaping perspectives under the guise of mere amusement.
I really dug the faith when I was a kid, and then as I got older, started struggling with it, as most people. I appreciate the message, and I appreciate who Christ was and what Christ did, but I'm not really into the dogma. Meanwhile, you know, many, many years ago, a bunch of Grecians and Egyptians held their books to be the word of gods, and now we read their literature and chuckle at silly stories, and will someone one day read our books and chuckle at silly stories? And if that's the case, then is there a God? Did we just create God? Did somebody create God so that I would quit asking questions? And that's kind of where the idea came from, working on dogma, by writing dogma.
Harvey Weinstein, the executive producer and former owner of Miramax Films, commented on the impact of movies. They have given Americans acceptance of things I don't think they would have embraced. Maybe they were tricked into it by an exciting marketing campaign, but when they came out of it, they came out different. His words, shared with Entertainment Weekly, imply movies' potent ability to alter perceptions and norms under the guise of entertainment. David Putnam, the screenwriter behind The Mission, underscores the influential power of cinema, stating, "Movies are powerful, whether they're good or bad. They tinker around inside of your brain. They steal upon you in the darkness of the cinema to form or conform social attitudes. In short, cinema is propaganda." This assertion highlights cinema's roles not just as a source of entertainment, but as a tool capable of molding public opinion and societal attitudes, often without the audience's full awareness.
Oscar isn't like an award. I've won one or two awards, not a lot. It's very different from the 25-yard swimming certificate because it's mythic. It has nothing to do with reality.
We mix images and reinterpret images is to suggest the complex relationship between imagination and memory. We present certain images within a different context, and in a different context they have a slightly different meaning. And I think the suggestion there is that he's able to manipulate the meanings of certain memories or manipulate his own interpretations of certain memories according to his present circumstance.
Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, had a fascinating take on television. He saw it as a primary conduit for what he considered the new satanic religion's widespread adoption. LaVey went on to compare the TV set to a satanic family altar, observing its evolution from a small, fuzzy screen in the 1950s to the massive entertainment centers of today that span entire walls with multiple monitors. He provocatively called the TV set this satanic family altar. Deepening this analogy, he even likened the presence of an antenna on homes to having a steeple, drawing a parallel with churches. This analogy highlights LaVey's perspective on the significant impact television has on shaping the dynamics of modern family life and values, attributing to it a cultural and spiritual depth that goes beyond mere entertainment. This, according to him, is occultism in its most overt form.
Occultism finds that with automation, with advances in technology, that their roles as human beings are lessened a great deal, are much less viable than ever before. So as a result of this, they have set themselves up in sort of a minor godhead role, or god role, or goddess role, in a specious, or rather illogical at times, form of importance or sense of importance.
Reflecting on this, after consuming countless movies and shows featuring these actors, one has to ponder, what exactly have we allowed into our minds? Even the etymology of the word entertainment is telling. Enter, meaning to go into. Tain, implying to hold or possess. And ment, indicating a state or condition. Putting it together, it translates to an act of entering to possess and maintain in a state of possession. It seems we're engaging in 100% sorcery by this definition. Have you ever taken a closer look at the themes threading through the movies featured on the covers of American Cinematographer magazine? There's a pattern that might catch your attention. Many of these films delve into the mystical, exploring realms of sorcery and the arcane. While not every film featured explores these themes, the prevalence is striking and sparks curiosity. What could be the story behind these production companies' fascination with such themes? This observation invites us to explore deeper into the symbols and meanings behind some of the industry's most prominent logos, setting the stage for a revealing journey. DC Comics, a powerhouse in superhero cinema, piqued my interest, leading me to delve into the significance of its emblem, influenced by insights from Walter Veit's analysis of symbolism. Although not making a direct accusation, the resemblance of their logo to symbols associated with the moon goddess Diana, notably the crescent moon and star, which in certain traditions represent white witchcraft and, when inverted, Satanism, presented a compelling parallel worth considering. Moreover, Phoenix Pictures and Legendary Pictures present logos steeped in symbolism. The former's emblem, featuring a phoenix set against flames, symbolizes rebirth from ashes, suggesting themes of fire and divinity, often associated with sun worship. The latter's logo, a Celtic knot, carries roots in Mesopotamian symbolism, linked to protective spells and the invocation of deities from the Earth's four corners, embedding a layer of meaning that transcends mere artistic choice. In observing the logo of Jerry Bruckheimer films, the imagery of lightning striking a tree struck a chord, leading me down a path of exploration into the symbolism within the Kabbalah, where such images are emblematic of self-enlightenment, marrying the raw power of thunder and lightning with the structured growth of the tree, thereby hinting at a mystical interpretation of the natural world as a force of creation. Now, I'm not claiming that Jerry Bruckheimer is deeply involved in this, but the similarity is strikingly close. Columbia Pictures, adorned with the image of the goddess Columbia, initially led me down a mistaken path, equating her with the goddess Athena. However, further investigation clarified her identity, deepening the intrigue with the realization that the torch she carries, within the context of certain occult interpretations, symbolizes Lucifer as the bringer of enlightenment, positing the flame as a beacon calling forth celestial spirits towards a new epoch of creation under his auspices. This revelation, derived from a passage concerning the torch's significance in occult traditions, underscores the multifaceted layers of symbolism that permeate the visual identities of these cinematic institutions, inviting viewers to ponder the broader implications of the imagery that pervades the entertainment landscape.
Comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati. For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh, so you don't know what's really going on.
With the surge of supernatural movies hitting the screens, it's timely to delve into the superhero genre first. What exactly does being a superhero entail? Where did the concept of recounting tales of superhuman prowess originate? Diving into the definition of a hero reveals a man of distinguished courage or ability, admired for his brave deeds and noble qualities, a description steeped in classical mythology. A hero is also described as a being with godlike capabilities and beneficence, often elevated to divine status. This description subtly suggests that superheroes might just be modern iterations of ancient deities. To explore this notion further, let's watch some movie clips that delve into the portrayal of gods within these narratives.
Victor, you always thought you were a god. Lex, you're not a god.
Gods are selfish beings who fly around in little red capes and don't share their power with mankind.
Power. Feels good. You lose yourself to it. What if we got these powers for a reason?
I've always wanted power. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
The world doesn't need a savior, and neither do I.
They can be a great people, Kal-El, they wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way. For this reason, above all, their capacity for good. I have sent them you, my only son.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
The narratives of comic books and their cinematic adaptations frequently draw on biblical parallels, weaving tales around themes of divinity and godlike figures. But to what end? This fascination with the divine within pop culture prompts reflection on its significance to our collective consciousness. Reflecting on the Great Controversy, it's recounted that, as the crowning act of the great drama of deception, Satan himself will personate Christ. In different parts of the earth, Satan will manifest himself among men as a majestic being of dazzling brightness, resembling the description of the Son of God given by John in the Revelation 1:13-15. The glory that surrounds him is unsurpassed by anything that mortal eyes have yet beheld. The shout of triumph rings out upon the air. The Christ has come! The Christ has come! The depiction of Satan as an entity capable of emulating the divine glory to a degree unparalleled by mortal experience, and his proclamation as the Messiah echoes long-standing prophetic warnings. This narrative is familiar, isn't it? The anticipation of Satan's ultimate masquerade as Christ resonates through these tales, inviting us to question the deeper implications of our fascination with beings of otherworldly power. What implications do superhero movies, particularly those like Superman, have in the broader context of myth and divinity? Superman, a creation of two Jewish writers from Cleveland, Ohio, in 1933, offers an interesting case study. The emphasis on their Jewish background is relevant here due to the use of distinctly Jewish names throughout the comic. For instance, Superman's Kryptonian name, Kal-El, translates from Hebrew as all that is God, or totally God. Furthermore, the name of Superman's human alter ego, Clark Kent, carries its own implications. Clark originates from Old English, meaning clergyman or learned man, while Kent could be interpreted as bright or white, potentially alluding to the Kenites from Genesis, who were the enemies of Israel and descendants of Cain. Superman's adversary, Lex Luthor, also has a name rich in meaning. Lex in Latin translates to law, hinting at a deeper symbolic rivalry. The name could be seen as a nod to Alexander, implying leader of men, and Luthor could reference either warrior or be a play on Martin Luther, the reformer. This begs the question, could Superman, with his divine name and clergyman-like alter ego, be interpreted as a godlike figure in opposition to the law? This interpretation gains further complexity when considering storylines like The Beast from Krypton, where Superman, feeling burdened by his role as humanity's savior, controls other superheroes to enact destruction upon the human race. This narrative twist not only presents Superman in a light far removed from divinity, but also flirts with apocalyptic themes. Despite these darker storylines, promotional materials for Superman films have drawn direct parallels to Christ, with phrases like, "I sent you my only son," used in trailers, reinforcing the messianic undertones of his character. This juxtaposition of themes invites a deeper reflection on the role of superhero narratives in our understanding of divinity, morality, and leadership. Exploring the realm of superhero narratives unveils a profound engagement with themes of divinity and morality. For instance, in Batman, Son of the Demon, and Fantastic Four, God War, the comics explicitly delve into the spiritual warfare that many hold to be a palpable reality. Similarly, Hellboy 2 builds on its predecessor's success by presenting a character reminiscent of Lucifer as the protagonist. This narrative choice is underscored by the tagline, "Believe it or not, he's the good guy," challenging traditional moral dichotomies. A snippet from the Hellboy 2 trailer subtly communicates a provocative message. Perhaps the figure historically vilified as Satan isn't inherently malevolent. The trailer teases with the unsettling presence of an unseen world, ripe with anger and mystery, and suggests that humanity's last hope might ironically be a character aligned with dark forces, further blurring the lines between good and evil as traditionally conceived. This brings us to a critical analysis model contrasting the characteristics of Christ with those of Lucifer. Christ is transparent about his identity, consistently benevolent, devoid of vanity, forgiving, and derives power from God. In contrast, Lucifer conceals his true identity, possesses a mutable nature, uses physical allure as a facade, seeks vengeance, and sources power from within. Applying this model to superhero characters reveals a striking alignment with the latter attributes, challenging the audience to reconsider the moral foundations of these beloved figures. X-Men provides a compelling case study, articulating the narrative of an existential conflict reminiscent of the great controversy between good and evil. The dialogue acknowledges the historical turning points determined by clashes between opposing facets of human nature, framing mutants as both the perceived threat and the proposed cure. This narrative wrestles with the concept of sacrifice for a greater cause, echoing the enduring struggle between divine and demonic forces. The character Xavier, whose name evokes the notion of a savior, embodies uncertainty regarding the outcome of this cosmic conflict, a stark contrast to the assured victory promised in Christian eschatology. This portrayal subtly invites the audience to consider their stance in an implied cosmic battle, perhaps even suggesting a rallying cry for a final stand, not unlike Lucifer's defiance. This analysis prompts a reflection on the deeper messages embedded within superhero narratives, questioning whether these stories might subtly influence perceptions of morality, divinity, and our place within a cosmic struggle, ultimately leaving a lasting imprint that requires divine intervention to realign with spiritual truth. Is anyone familiar with this figure? This character represents Pan, a deity from Greek mythology known for embodying sexual deviance, rape, and torture. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, Pan is depicted as a Greek fertility god, part human and part beast, often linked with Faunus by the Romans. Traditionally considered the offspring of Hermes, Pan is portrayed as a robust, sensual entity adorned with goat-like features, including horns, legs, and ears. Over time, the portrayal of his human attributes become more pronounced. It's noteworthy that Christian representations of the devil frequently echo the imagery associated with Pan. Pan's realm was the wilderness, especially the mountains, where he oversaw shepherds and flocks, and was believed to induce baseless fear in humans, hence the term panic deriving from his name. Has Pan's Labyrinth come across anyone's radar? This film garnered significant acclaim at the 2006 Academy Awards. Guillermo del Toro approached to helm The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, The Witch, and The Wardrobe, opted out due to his departure from Catholic faith, feeling disconnected from the narrative of resurrecting Aslan the Lion. Instead, del Toro directed Pan's Labyrinth, weaving a dark fairy tale that blends elements of C.S. Lewis's Christian allegory with other classic children's literature. Here's a peek at the Pan's Labyrinth trailer.
The legend speaks of the lost soul of a princess who will one day be reborn. In darkness, there can be light. In misery, there can be beauty. In death, there can be life.
Notice the inversion of concepts? There's death and life, beauty and misery. These reversals are hallmarks of Luciferian filmmaking. Pan, historically venerated alongside Lucifer, and the labyrinth as a metaphor for Lucifer's entanglements. Turning our attention to Philip Pullman, a distinguished author in children's literature. His work, The Amber Spyglass, clinched the 2001 Whitbread Book of the Year, marking the first instance a children's book received this honor. Northern Lights, another of his creations, won the Carnegie Medal in 1995 and was later hailed as one of the 10 most significant children's novels in 70 years by CILIP Carnegie Medal judges. In 2005, Pullman was awarded the Astrid Lindgren Memorial Award by Sweden, a recognition second only to the Nobel Prize in Literature, accompanied by a substantial prize. Pullman's stated aim, as he shared with the Washington Post, is to, I'm trying to undermine the basis of Christian beliefs. Mr. Lewis would think I'm doing the devil's work, even acknowledging that C.S. Lewis might view his efforts as doing the devil's work. Later, in an interview, Pullman boldly states, "My books are about killing God." This brings us to The Golden Compass, a film adaptation of Pullman's work that sparked conversation for its bold stance on religious themes. The movie's promotional materials tease, "There are worlds beyond our own. The Golden Compass will show you the way," echoing the belief in a transcendent reality. Let's delve into a clip from this film, paying close attention to its narrative and the portrayal of its fantastical elements, inviting reflection on the underlying messages being communicated to audiences, especially the younger demographic. To remove Christianity from our lives, all that's needed is to start with one generation and begin indoctrinating those generations. Millions might watch such films and come to believe that a demon could be a friend. Delving into the Golden Compass, I found it features a device called an alethiometer, each symbol on it representing different concepts. For instance, the serpent symbolizes evil, guile, and natural wisdom. The sun signifies day, authority, and truth. The angel represents messengers, hierarchy, and disobedience. The Madonna embodies motherhood and feminine worship, and the apple denotes sin, knowledge, and vanity. These symbols, embedded with deep religious significance, are subtly introduced to audiences, particularly children, weaving a complex tapestry of ideas and beliefs. What about this character, Peter Pan, who intriguingly shares his name with the Greek god Pan? Reflect on the narrative of Peter Pan. He approaches the young girl with the proposition that echoes desires for eternal youth and freedom from responsibilities, urging her to leave her home with the caveat of never returning. This premise bears a striking resemblance to the tale often attributed to Lucifer's rebellion in heaven, offering a parallel narrative of seeking liberation from divine order, only to face eternal exile. The story of Peter Pan subtly revisits this theme, presenting it in a manner that resonates with the youthful longing for adventure, yet parallels a much darker, ancient narrative. And now, let's turn our attention to someone from the inside, someone who's seen it all and was even approached by the Illuminati, China McClain. For those following her on social media, it's no secret that she has been vocally critical of Hollywood's shadowy underbelly and the compromises celebrities are often forced into for the sake of fame and wealth. China, alongside her sisters Sierra and Lauren, seemed destined for stardom in the early 2010s, with their music group and roles in several films paving the way for what looked like flourishing solo careers. Of the trio, China was particularly poised for greatness, blessed with an array of talents from singing to acting, all complemented by a charismatic presence on camera that had producers lining up. Yet, at a crucial juncture, China chose to withdraw from the trajectory set before her. Her forthright reflections on the industry offer a rare glimpse behind the curtain, compelling us to pay close attention to her words and understand the pressures that lurk behind the spotlight.
Entertainment industry, it's about influence. There is a reason why you see people dressed up as Satan. Full-on visuals of Satan, people dressed as Satan, dressed as a demon, got upside-down crosses all on their clothes or pentagrams on their clothes. People think that this stuff is just a game. No, there's a reason why the entertainment industry is doing that, y'all. They know good and doggone well that God exists. They also know that Satan exists. They're just counting on the fact that y'all don't know that. But either way, the things that you take in, that they're feeding you, those things affect you. Whether you realize it in the moment or not, they affect you. That's why they do it. I'm not going to sacrifice the honesty in order to be politically correct. I can say whatever I have to say with respect, but I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it bluntly.
As we journey through the allure and glitz of Hollywood, the Oscars, and the myriad of movies and television shows that captivate millions worldwide, it's crucial to pause and consider the deeper currents flowing beneath. Our culture's fascination with celebrity and the relentless pursuit of artistic recognition may seem harmless, a mere celebration of talent and storytelling. Yet, as we peel back the layers, a more complex narrative unfolds, revealing connections to ancient symbols, hidden agendas, and narratives that challenge the very core of our beliefs. The resemblance of Hollywood's coveted trophies to symbols of divine strength, the subtle yet pervasive influence of Freemasonry within the industry, and the echo of ancient deities in the characters we adore hint at a concerted effort to weave a tapestry of ideas that resonate with a much darker philosophy. These elements, often dismissed as mere coincidence or the creative whims of artists, may indeed hold a more sinister intent, aiming to subtly shift our perceptions, beliefs, and values. Celebrities and insiders like Mel Gibson, Jim Breuer, and China McClain have raised their voices, sharing insights from their experiences within this glittering world. Their testimonies shed light on the pressures to conform, the sacrifices demanded in exchange for fame and fortune, and the moral compromises often hidden beneath the surface of success. These voices, emerging from the heart of the industry, urge us to look closer, to listen more intently, and to discern the messages being woven into the very fabric of entertainment. The narrative spun in movies and television shows, the characters brought to life on the screen, and the themes celebrated through awards and accolades are not merely for amusement. They are carefully crafted to engage, to enchant, and ultimately, to influence. From the subtle to the overt, the entertainment industry wields a powerful tool in shaping culture, morality, and belief. As we stand at this crossroads, it's imperative to guard our hearts and minds, to critically evaluate the content we consume, and to recognize the potential for manipulation through the medium of entertainment. The warnings from within the industry, the parallels to ancient myths and occult practices, and the moral ambiguities celebrated through our modern myths call for a renewed vigilance in our consumption of media. In light of these insights, let the revelations about the entertainment industry not only serve as a wake-up call, but also guide us back to a firmer foundation for our beliefs and values. If the journey through the labyrinth of Hollywood's glamour and the shadowy tales woven into its fabric doesn't compel us to seek refuge and truth in Jesus Christ, what will? This moment calls for an awakening to discern the truth amid the spectacle, urging us to anchor our lives in principles and a faith that remain unshaken by the ever-changing tides of cultural trends and blockbuster hits. This isn't merely an alert to the subtle influences at play, but an invitation to deepen our understanding and reconnect with Jesus Christ, offering us a compass to navigate through the noise and the allure towards a haven of genuine, unalterable truth. As the world chases after celebrity culture, it's important for us to remember the guidance directly from Jesus. In Luke 4:8, we're reminded, "For it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve."
Tell me, how can I make it when I always fake it? Oh, how can I save me when I feel like breaking?